checks and tanks on the rivers and the tributaries in the Telangana region. Because of that, the area has gone down so substantially. That is about minor irrigation. Coming to major irrigation, which were constructed on Krishna and Godavari, it's a very, I can take 2 hours to tell all that, but I will take hardly 5 or 10 minutes to finish up that. On river Krishna, the major dams constructed should have given facilities of irrigation to all the 3 regions, proportionate to what? Proportionate to catchment area, or proportionate to area under cultivation, or proportionate to geographical area, or proportionate to population, or proportionate, or in taking rainfall as the parameter, or backwardness. Take any of these parameters, Telangana should get more than 50% of the facility under river Krishna. What is the position today? Most of the dams are completed. Under Krishna river, if you take all the projects together, which are completed, which are nearing completion, if you take the total area getting irrigation facilities is about 40 lakh acres. Out of that, in Telangana, you have only 5 lakh acres. A part of Nalgonda district and a part of Khammam district is covered. You know, as you have seen, Krishna rivers enter the state of Andhra Pradesh at the head of Mahbubnagar district. Traverses through Mahbubnagar district for a distance of nearly 300 kilometers, enters Karimnagar district, again traverses through a distance of more than 250 kilometers, then goes to the tail end area Krishna. Krishna river is giving irrigation facilities in the coastal districts to the tune of 30 lakh acres, in Rayalaseema to the tune of 5 lakh acres. It is giving water to Madras city. See, Madras city gets drinking water from Krishna river, which goes from Mahbubnagar. People of Mahbubnagar don't have drinking water. It sounds like a cock and bull story. The tragedy is even the Mahbubnagar district headquarters people don't have drinking water from Krishna river. Krishna river flows under their nose. They don't get a drop of water to drink there. Drinking water goes to Madras city 500 kilometers away. They don't get water there. You give water to lakhs and lakhs of acres in other regions. In Mahbubnagar district, even to this day, hardly 20,000 acres of land get irrigation facility. So, Mahbubnagar district, which should have been the first beneficiary of Krishna waters, is not at all benefited by that. Today, it's becoming almost a desert. This year alone, because of famine and because of drought, 14 lakh people have migrated from that district to other places in search of livelihood. It's becoming a desert already. Go down to Nalgonda. A part of Nalgonda is benefited. About 5 lakh acres in Khammam and Nalgonda put together, they get facility. Out of those 5 or 5.5 lakh acres, more than half of that land was bought by the migrants much before Nagarjuna Sagar was completed. So therefore the local farmer, when I say local farmer, the farmers from the Telangana region are getting facilities of irrigation under those mighty projects on Krishna river to the tune of 2 lakh acres. Nalgonda district upland areas, they don't have even pure drinking water. Mahbubnagar district don't have any kind of water, neither pure or impure. But Nalgonda people have some water which has a high content of fluoride. And upland areas of Nalgonda district, in some of the villages, nearly 20% of the people are afflicted by fluorosis. I'll show you some transparencies, taken pictures of the people afflicted by the ailment. This was the position in 1990. We have taken some more, you may say that's outdated. We have taken recent photographs also. I'll show you as a sample. Taken in 1999. See how small kids are affected. How many generations are affected? Simply because they don't have pure drinking water, even though Krishna river passes through their houses. This is about Krishna river. Coming to Godavari, tail end of Godavari area, there is a project called Dhavaleshwaram project. which irrigates about 12 lakh acres of land, wet cultivation, 2 crops a year. In the upper regions, in the Telangana region, the Nizamabad and Adilabad district, there is a project which is under construction for the last 40 years called Pochampada Sriram Sagar project. Sriram Sagar project was envisaged during the time of Nizam. It's more than 45 years. Even 1/4 of it is not completed. Originally planned to irrigate an area of 20 lakh acres, is not in a position to irrigate even 4 lakh acres now. Nagarjuna Sagar, which was started much later, was completed in 15 years. We're happy, we are not jealous about it. 15 years. It's irrigating 20 lakh acres. Nagarjuna Sagar was built diverting Telangana funds. You don't have funds for completing Sriram Sagar project today. In Godavari, we still have water. Plenty of Krishna water allocation is over. Godavari, we still have water. We say that at least use that water. There are so many technical problems, whether gravity or lift irrigation, so many lifting through pumps or supplying through gravity, a technical problem. The fact is, there is water available in Godavari. Telangana people could not get their legitimate share in the waters allocated in Krishna River. Governments have realized this thing. There is water available. You have to build. How do you build is your problem. In Telugu we say, ఎట్లా తెస్తారు మీ సమస్య, మూట కొట్టి తెస్తారా, పంపు కొడతారా, కుండతో మోస్తారా, చెంబుతో మోస్తారా, మా సమస్య, టెక్నికల్ ప్రాబ్లం అది. You have to solve it. But a controversy, more details will be given by my friend Janal Rao. I'll refer to you only about 2 major projects. One project is contemplated for Telangana, another is contemplated for coastal Andhra. The proposed Ichampalli project. Ichampalli is somewhere here, Karimnagar and Nalgonda, Warangal borders. Polavaram is in the coastal districts. What should be the size of those projects with this background? In all fairness, Ichampalli should be at least 5 times larger than Polavaram. But the proposals which they have submitted recently, the report has appeared on 20th July and my friend Mr. Maswan Reddy has circulated it to some of you. According to the proposal made known by the government last week, Polavaram is going to be 2 or 3 times bigger than Ichampalli. Then how do you solve this problem? There is one more dimension. Then you may say how people of farmers of Telangana are carrying on their agricultural activity. So they depend naturally on wells. Only well irrigation. Subsoil water is going down because of deforestation, because of non-maintenance of tanks, etc. The subsoil water has gone down. Still they are managing with that. But the difference between a cultivator under well irrigation and a cultivator under canal irrigation has to be noted. Whether the cultivator is in coastal districts or Rayalaseema, Telangana is a different matter. But as of now, 76% of beneficiaries under canal irrigation are in coastal districts. Therefore, we naturally refer to the regions. We are not against them. We are not jealous of them. What we say is, what are the facilities that you are giving to the farmers in coastal districts who depend mostly on canal irrigation? What are the facilities that you are giving to the farmers in Telangana and also in Rayalaseema who depend mostly on well irrigation? The difference is like this. If you have to construct a project, irrigation project, at the current rates, the cost would be water to 1 acre of land, you have to invest 50,000 rupees on the project. If the project is envisaged to irrigate 20 lakh acres, 20 lakhs multiplied by 50,000 rupees. How many millions and how many, you can calculate. That is the cost of construction. And the cost under our system is met by the state.